Okay, I'm making this video to talk about something that happened around May 2nd or 3rd. And it's crazy. Okay, I know. But I was out camping somewhere in Nevada. And I could almost pinpoint where it was. I remember I was taking one highway and then I changed highways. And then as I was driving, I saw a place that I could stop. And I just ended up stopping there to just relax and drink and kind of stretch my legs. And then I decided, you know what, I just ended up camping there. And it was not too far from one of those Air Force bases in Nevada, but it was in the middle of nowhere. And this stuff truly happened. It wasn't like a dream or a vision. It wasn't something that felt all spiritual, okay? And I don't know how to explain this, but this really did happen, okay? I was laying on a mat on the ground in the middle of the desert. I could see the sky. I watched as I think there was a military drone, because there was a small plane flew over, and when it flew over, it was silent, and a moment later, I could hear the engine. But what was weird is it had flashing green and red lights, and the green light was a green square, and the red light was a red X. And it had that on the bottom of the wings as it flew over. Okay. Now, I wasn't too far from a military base. I think maybe they saw somebody out in their backyard, which I was just camping out in a random place. And they might have had infrared on me. I don't know. But later, I was laying down and I honestly, truly felt the ground move. And that's where I got a revelation of where it says every island was moved and every mountain was moved. I always thought that meant a slipping of the tectonic plates or possibly a polar shift. But it could be, if there's worldwide nuclear war, it could be that there's some sort of nuclear strike in close enough proximity to every island and every mountain to make it just move. When I move, I mean, I felt the ground moving. It wasn't like a heavy earthquake, like that would cause you to fall over. It just felt like a rocking. That really happened. Then I got up and I looked over the horizon, and it was nighttime. It was pretty dark out. And I saw what looked like, I'm not kidding you, it looked just like a mushroom cloud. But it was low in the air, and it was really pretty far away. And a few minutes later, I looked again, and it was bigger and higher up into the air. And so I remember I got my binoculars out, and I was looking at it, and it looked just like a mushroom cloud. And I was just like, what is... Then that same night, right around that same time, I looked off to, I believe it was the east, but I didn't have a compass, so it might have been, depending on the direction of the highway. If the highway that I was on had been east-west, it was east. But I don't know. Sometimes a highway curves, and so you don't know what direction it is. It was supposed to be an east-west direction highway, and so I looked off and I saw what looked like a shooting star, but it was different from a shooting star because it went straight down. And it happened so fast, it was so far away, I blinked, like, did I really see that? So I start staring in that same direction, and I'm watching over in that direction. Now, what the mushroom cloud was south of where I was. Then I was watching where I saw this like shooting star, and I saw another one, and this one went it was down at a steep angle, but what was weird about it is it curved sharply. It went like this, and it went straight, And then actually it went kind of like that, and then it did a very sharp turn down. And made it kind of shot, like if you were to follow it kind of did a hook like that. And then it was weird. It was weird. And when I saw that, I was like, and then, I was seeing this mushroom cloud over here. I saw this two weird shooting stars. The ground had shaken. Then I had seen a drone fly over a few minutes before that was completely silent. And then when it got past me, it's like, all of a sudden I could hear the engine, which was weird. In other words, it sounded like a regular airplane. In other words, when it flew over, it was like, it looked like it was just a glider, like it was silent. And then a moment later, I heard the engine going brrrr, and I thought, what is that? You know, it sounded like an airplane, like you know. Then a helicopter flew by, and it had red and white flashing lights, and I watched it fly by, and then went over to where the highway was, and it flew over the highway, and as it passed, I could hear a siren sound. And that happened March 2nd or 3rd. I'd have to look at my, I probably have a record of, I could probably pinpoint exactly where I was on a map if I got my phone. That really happened. And that night I was just like in awe. Am I seeing visions from God? You know, I was like, it was a strange night, and I knew I have been expecting like thermonuclear war to happen. That was right around the time Kim Jong-un was like launched a nuclear strike and was saying, you know, death to America. But I knew it wasn't a full-scale nuclear war, and because I didn't see the flash of an actual nuclear bomb. I just saw what looked like, and then about 10 minutes later I looked again, and that cloud had dispersed and didn't look at all like a mushroom cloud anymore. So, what is the meaning of that? I don't know. I'm going to look in my map and see if I can pinpoint where that was, though. Because it really happened. That's the thing, is it happened in reality. It didn't feel like I was having a dream or a vision. Just saying, is there a drone that has a red, I think it was a red X and a green square that flashes? And it was flashing red, green, and when it flew over, I could clearly see the red was an X, and the green was a square. Is there a does the U.S. Air Force have a drone that patrols that area over there, you know, by some of their Air Force bases in Nevada that has that kind of flashing lights? I don't know. I should probably do some research on that. Anyway, that really happened. I'm not making that up. And as a matter of fact, I was just actually I was just watching somebody else's video about how they had a revelation from God, and it seemed like it was real. And right as I was watching that, I remembered what had happened. I kind of had forgotten because the next day I got up and I continued on. You know, I packed up my little camp and jumped in my truck and drove. And I kind of haven't thought about it until a few days ago. I thought about it and I remembered it and I contemplated it. And just now I was watching somebody else's video on YouTube and I suddenly remembered and I thought I'd just post this video. So tell me what you think in the comments.